Well, it seems that we have some political gangsters in power, and they are hell-bent in using the machinations of government to enrich themselves, no matter the cost, to Grenada. Now, information reaching this news desk talks about extra-regional cement importation. They're going out of the region to import cement by the tons. Now, I hope you understand that this can have grave consequences for the relationship that Grenada has with the wider CARICOM. Now, it seems like we're hell-bent on having a trade war with Trinidad and CARICOM. And I don't think it's intelligent, considering the climate in the world, and Trinidad being the United States' younger sister, so to speak, politically, that we should threaten the economic interests of Trinidad. Because the CARICOM agreement in place explicitly states that if you import out of the region, then there is a CET tax, a common external tariff of 20% minimum. And that can go all the way up to 40%. So, the question is, did the current administration in St. George's follow the right procedures? Then, especially when you're going extra-regional, you're supposed to get approval from the Council on Trade and Economic Development. On top of that, locally, especially if you're importing cement, okay, and there is major concerns of the integrity of that cement that you're importing, keep in mind that cement has to be used in structural work of buildings and structures. So it must be of the best quality. How do you verify the quality? You verify the quality by having the local Bureau and Standards test before it's used. And they, when they test it, needs to publish a gazette their information and their results. So the question is, was all of these procedures followed? I know a lot of people are concerned about what we call the Rafftors economic move, the bubble. But my concern is even more about the structural integrity of the buildings and the structures that will be used in that concrete, especially seeing that there have been total failures in the construction sector of the projects embarked upon by this current administration. So, is someone going to test it before it's used? And how about the fallout with Trinidad and CARICOM? Remember, that CET is in place, that 20% common external tariff is in place to protect TCL, Trinidad Cement Limited. So the question is, how would Trinidad respond to us if we didn't get approval to get this done? How would they respond to the fact that we went behind their back? And again, considering the climate that exists in the world currently, would it be a politically wise thing to do to, in some respects, backstab Trinidad and CARICOM? Considering, of course, as I said, that Trinidad is the United States' little sister politically in the world. And in some respects, this transaction might be seen as an indirect threat to our northern neighbor, the United States. I don't understand or know how politically wise it is to engage in such a transaction. The long-term consequences, dangerous possibly consequences, will definitely outweigh the short-term benefits to Grenada. words to the wise are hopefully sufficient. And when I tell you that these guys are a bunch of gangsters, in some respects, that is not an understatement. Because I heard these gangsters in the transaction, some of them might have gotten too greedy. And one of the gentlemen involved in the transaction tried to backstab them. And he faced the wrath of state mechanisms used against him. Interesting. Very interesting. But I want you to understand again, I've been proven right. When I said on Ride Along with Kem Jones, I said, look, if you see wealthy people from the motherland are coming to Grenada, they're not coming to Grenada for North. Okay? They're coming to Grenada because they smell opportunity. Wealthy people and entrepreneurs are not in the business of giving away money or giving out money. They're in the business of making money, enriching themselves, and of course, in the process, if they need to hit off these hustler politicians, then they will do it. So I hope that that cement doesn't go to waste and there's proper storage areas for the cement. But let's see how all of this pans out. Oh, Grenada, how did you find yourselves in the clutches of these charlatans? But through awareness and education, you will be liberated.